Well, my name is Barry, working at Instruqt since January 21, and I'm responsible for sales these days. Well, what I always try to do to get a little bit of balance is that go to the gym, do some sport activities. So we do padel once per month, I do running 3 times per week, go to the gym, some basic things, but really to be active, because with our job these days, being online virtually, I think we spend more time on working, so the balance is really important. We thought it will be easier, but now we are from calls to calls and then sitting on your chair, so moving is really important. Well, my typical day is that I, of course, wake up in the morning, do the kids, everybody is away, then I do some work at home. Normally more the administrative tasks, because I think the majority of our customers is based in the US. So our real working day with customer communication and with Zoom meetings with our customers and prospects starts around 2 or 3 p.m. in our afternoon. And then we have calls in the evening as well. So in between we do some gym, we do some sports, we do some cooking to find the balance. Well, I knew Instruqt already from my previous job. I think we were one of the first users, and I really saw the value from Instruqt because where we used it for example, when we did a pilot at a prospect somewhere in Europe, and before flying in we say, hey guys, the people that want to join the pilot, at least do a track on Instruqt that you know the basic concepts of our product. And that we don't waste time during the pilot, because we fly in, we do a commitment, we spend time and waste time on explaining the basic concepts of our product. So people can really already learn about the product before the pilot, and I could even check it. So for example, I checked it the week before and I give my sponsor a call, hey, next week we are at your office, 5 people will join, and I could monitor, I could track that they really did it, and then we fly in next week and we could really help them and directly start from the beginning with the pilot. Another use case what we're using it for was for partners, because they were asking a lot of time from our pre-sales, and that was, hey, we can help you doing business, but we also want you to commit. And it's not money, but we want to commit you time to learn our product. So what we did, we sent them the invites of some tracks on Instruqt to learn about the basic concepts, and we could monitor that they actually did it. And if somebody did it, then we say, okay, now we will help you doing the more specialized stuff, the more advanced stuff, to get those customers in. So that were the 2 use cases. So when I got the opportunity to start working for Instruqt, I thought, hey, if we could use it as just one software company, then I think all the software companies have really value of this platform. Well, a good sales team is really having the balance between working on inbound leads and closing those deals, and also working really aggressively on outbound and using channels like LinkedIn, which I think is for us right now the main channel. Using LinkedIn to get in contact with your target audience, with your target contacts, and really try to get in a conversation with them via LinkedIn, via Zoom meetings, via everything that you can use to achieve that. Well, I think sales and marketing and working together is really important, because with Instruqt we now have a good focus on the tech market, but we should constantly monitor if it's the right market. Are there other things popping up that we can say, hey, this is a different market where we can deliver value? And I think that can only happen in a good combination with the marketing team. And also the balance about the inbound leads and the outbound leads. And in the end you hope to receive more inbound, and that can only happen if you have a good marketing strategy by creating awareness via the different channels. Connecting with your prospects is harder these days, because for some markets calling is still a good channel. Calling customers or trying to get on the phone with prospects. But now what we see is really a move to a more digital way of selling. So we use social channels like LinkedIn, Twitter, and also a lot of emails to get in contact with our prospects. And that's different than we did it in the past, where it was really traveling to customers, making appointments, calling them, you had their phone numbers, and now that's more difficult. And another challenge that we see is that all companies, they expect you to scale. So you should grow really fast, and how are you going to do it? Now, are you scaling with the number of people as well, or are you trying to do a different sales model so that you cost of acquisition are not increasing equally as your revenue. So I think that are the main challenges these days at startups in the tech scene.